Hi, I'm Dave Crane, and welcome to The Secrets of Social Media Success. In the next few minutes, I want to share with you a number of ideas about why maybe you aren't making the most of social media and how things are going to change in the future. And if you're not up to scratch with what's going on, how you could be leaving lots and lots of money behind, not even including your brand, your reputation, and your ability to network and create satisfied customers who really want to work with you. So what's that all about? Well, as you can see a couple of pictures there showing you what it's like to feel right now in the current environment of the emergence of social media. You hear all the things about blogs and forums and pay-per-click and SEO, search engine optimization, and so on. For most people, they have no idea where that's going to take them. They end up feeling lost, confused, unsure, unclear. I mean, this is their reality. They don't know what to do and where to start. As a result, their marketing plans stall. They end up not knowing what to put their money into. Conventional advertising used to be the way to do it. TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, but with a limited result coming back from that. And also, you know from your own habits, you get up-to-date news online. You don't necessarily get it from going to buy a newspaper. Plus also, the minute the newspaper or the magazine comes out, especially if it's a monthly, the information on it is out of date. You need to make sure whatever you get happens straight away, which means going online. But how do you use that for yourself? Now, the worst bit is the competition is becoming more savvy. As you look around, you see and understand companies that you used to be in competition with becoming more savvy than you. They're going online, they're using Facebook, they're using Twitter, they're making videos, and they're getting an impact, and people are talking about their brand. How do they do it? How do they manage to know more than you? The internet seems incredibly confusing, and it's getting tougher and harder to look at every single day. With more information going out there, the minute you put a Google search and you put in your keywords, half the stuff that comes up seems like gobbledygook. It doesn't seem relevant, it seems even more confusing than it's ever been before. And the worst bit is, on top of that, is time is ticking away. Doesn't mean that you can never get a grip of it, but certainly the early adopters are going to be miles ahead by the time that everybody else catches up and it's all become white noise. You want to be at the forefront of that, and you want to make sure that you have the best game in town. If you don't do it, it's going to hurt you financially. The economic situation has meant that sales are plummeting right across the board in every single industry. So how are you going to counteract that? How are you going to get to new customers? How are you going to engage them and make them love your brand more? Well, that's what I want to share with you now. So when we're talking about it, we've got to create strategies that make people want to work with you, and you make it easy for the amount of time and resources and effort and energy and budget that you have to get it so they can reach you and work with you. Let's face it, you want to grow your brand. And if you've got a team, you want to train that team so they can interact online, so they can all represent you and your company and your direction and dominate your chosen social media landscape. You might not know what that social media landscape is. It might be a lot of videos that you use. It might be just exclusively running things on Twitter. If you're in the events industry, constantly having updates and having people interact to win prizes on Twitter. Or it might be just purely on Facebook, reaching the people who like you, who like their friends, and getting them to talk about your brand. There's a number of different ways of creating that social media landscape, but the difficulty is, which is yours? And how can you use it to get your brand and your team to start to dominate online? There's lots of techniques available. As you can see there, the big four, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn are all out there, but how do you turn it into cash? Do you go down the route of internet marketing, or do you stay with the existing business that you have, but use it as a way of getting more people to visit your shop, or your outlet, or talk about your brand so they call you and ring you up and spend more money with you? By using certain techniques, you can trim your conventional PR and media spend by, at the very least, 20%. That means what you'd normally spend on your normal magazines, radio, TV, print advertising, maybe even events, you can turn into an online model, saving the money or using it to go directly to your customers where they are, how they want your stuff, and let them tell you how they'd like to spend their money, rather than just putting something on the back of an advert, on a newspaper, or taking out a quarter page in a magazine and hoping that somebody might see it. And you know that whatever the circulation is of a magazine, they want that magazine. They don't want your advert. So how do you get the people who want your advert? That's what I'm going to tell you next. You've got your goals. You've got the idea that all the things you want to reach are all about the things that you want in real life. But how can you make it happen online? For any business to grow, you've got to attract new customers. You've got to have a constant flow of people interested in your brand. But wouldn't that be amazing if they came to you automatically? If they found you with very little effort from your part, purely because you've set up systems that allows other people to talk about your brand, other people to find your brand, and you become very, very visible, even enhancing a relationship and engaging a customer while you're not even paying attention. So things are set up automatically to create that relationship, so by the time that they come to you, they're convinced about your brand, they're convinced that you're the go-to person, and they want to spend. All they want to know is how you can cash their checks. Wouldn't that be useful? For every business, that's their natural goal. Social media can help you to do that. So we all have our objectives, we all have our direction of where we want to take this. For some people it's easier than others. But the difficulty seems to be, how can you engage people without creating spam? How can you engage people without winding them up? They might not be interested in your stuff, but hopefully they will when they see the sincerity of how you feel about your product. Wrong. What you want is rabid fans, brand ambassadors, clients who are queuing at your door because they love your stuff. Now there's a way to get them. And I promise you that the way that you do it is not the way you've ever done it before. There's an industrial revolution that's happening online. When you do it right, you can be one of the first people to invent the factories in the old industrial revolution. You can be one of the first people to make the money and have everybody attracted to work for you. If you do it wrong, cover your ears and say, no, this isn't for me, then you stand a real risk of being left out in the cold. And nobody wants to be there. So what is next? If we're talking about a revolution, how can you revolutionize your business? How can you make it stand out so it's different from everybody else's? Well, I've got a way of offering you something that will change everything. Because all around you, there's people who say they know what they're doing, but do they really honestly know what they're doing? Are they really producing the kind of results that allow them to never have to advertise in conventional radio, TV, newspapers or magazines again? Do they get cutting edge information from all around the world from the people that are creating social media and internet marketing and websites and talking to each other about the next step of how things are going to be? If you're not connected to those people, you're getting stuff second hand, third hand maybe, and following the crowd that's following another crowd. You need to be given access to the right brains, the right conversations, and the finest marketing minds. Because every single person who's online is now ahead of the game. The big change is when the internet starts driving politics. Barack Obama, the current president of the United States and possibly the most powerful man on the planet, became president because he used the internet. He brought in the experts, and rather than going around pressing the flesh and having lots of campaigns with lots of people who are willing to spend lots of money, he got to the real people. And he said, don't spend a fortune, spend a small amount. $5 to $100 only is what I'm looking for. You spend that with me, and I will guarantee to give you the most successful presidency you've ever had. One that's interactive, and one that you can feel belongs to the people. That's never happened before. And that's why Barack Obama was never going to fail to become president, and that's also why he came into power with more money behind him for his campaign than any other president in US history. That's why you need experts. That's why you need the finest minds who are constantly updating their game so they can help you to update yours. So what solutions do you need? How can you make it happen? How can you guarantee to learn what you need in time to make a change to your business with the current economic climate? Well, you want to dominate your market, and I can help you do that. You can dominate your market within about 3 months and guarantee as well to monetize every single customer you've ever done business with before, as well as attracting new customers. And if you work in a business where you provide services or a product, or you interact with other people as well, you can monetize their clients and start an instant relationship with their clients too. Social media changes the entire game. Now, I've got a limited amount of time. My name is Dave Crane and I help people to create that success. In order to be able to do it, I want you to be able to act now. Because I guarantee in 1 month's time, 2 months' time, 3 months' time, the game will have changed. My game will have changed. This is me right now sharing information that you can act upon straight away. You can enter the arena straight away. You'd have to wait until there's a gap or wait for something to make sense. Jump and grow wings on the way down. The way to do it is to discover proven strategies that other people have used that work. Don't reinvent the shape of the wheel, it's round. You can spend your entire life changing different shapes before you find one that works, or just find somebody who knows what they're doing who will show you how to do it as well. They will employ tested and proven techniques and prove to you that they work. So instead of spending a fortune getting it wrong, you can go straight to the heart of a target and get it right. Using case studies from some of the world's biggest brands. Now, the world's biggest brands don't necessarily mean that they're the biggest brands online. Some companies have taken the entire market, beating their competitors, beating the biggest players in the game because they just did it right online. And those are the people, those are the companies that are going to be around for the next 10, 20 years. Those who don't adapt won't be around long enough to worry about it. We've already mentioned that if generating new customers is important for you, there are special techniques for doing it. Right now it's tough. Times are hard. People don't have money and they're very cautious about where they spend it. More than anything, they can Google your name, they can talk to friends, and the conversations that they have with other people are more likely to be the things that convert into new customers for you rather than any advertising you've ever done before. But we can keep a constant stream of new customers coming to your door because they believe in your product, which will make you a market leader, ahead of the game, guaranteed to stay ahead for the foreseeable future. I want you very simply to learn from the best. Learn from the people who are at the top of their game. If you go any other direction, you'll stay exactly where you are. Sure, you might learn in time, but one thing is the internet is instant. When you post something, it's already old news. That's why conventional media is having so many problems keeping up. People want it now, and the minute it's up, it's old. You need to get from the very best. Now let me introduce you to me. And me to you. You are the customer who's wondering, where is this leading? I know my business is relatively successful, but I also needed to step up. I need to get somebody involved who can help me make my game much easier, help me create successes. Now, I've got a proven track record of making this happen exactly as I promised. In the region where I live, which is the Middle East, I'm from the UK originally, I've worked with over 2 billion people traveling around the world. I've worked in Spain, India, South Africa, Europe, right across the board. You name it. I've done events, I've worked and changed people's lives. Not small companies, big companies. The guys that are making a real difference in the world. I've even got a proven track record of return on investments, up to and including 49% growth. In one company, a global brand that brought me in to train their staff, within 12 months they were making those kind of profits. In entertainment, which is my natural background, I've worked with the legends. James Brown, Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, Enrique Iglesias, Sting, Amitabh Bachchan, you name them, in every sport, every branch of entertainment, music, film, along the lines and along the past, I've worked with them. I know the tips, the tricks, and the techniques to get your brand to being the top in its game in the same way as they have done it in entertainment. I've brought out best-selling CDs using these techniques. I performed to the big stars using these techniques and reaching more people. For my own personal development, I've done it. I've learned to be a hypnotherapist, an NLP master practitioner, a life coach, an internet marketer, an e-commerce evangelist, and also a social media expert. The reason I've done all that is so you don't have to. I've spent the last 3 years learning about the internet. Countless hours every single day learning new stuff, watching new videos, networking with some of the biggest players on the planet. Why? So you don't have to. All you need to do is talk to me. Let me give you an example about how powerful this stuff is. I've worked with an event called the Dubai Rugby Sevens, which is a huge event right across the Middle East. In fact, it is the number one sporting event in the Middle East calendar. I've done this for 11 years. I've run the promotions and the entertainments team and gone out on the main pitch in front of 50,000 people each day for 3 days and reached 750 million homes that have it on their TV. Working on this event has taught me everything about what people want. We've been able to grow it to the level that it's at, and we're also able to grow it to be the flagship event when the Dubai Rugby Sevens held the World Cup Rugby Sevens event, with everybody from all around the world with their eyes on this event, including the Olympic Committee, who saw how we reached people, how we touched their lives, how we entertained them and created customers who are rabid fans who loved it and talked about it so much that as a result of that event, it became an Olympic sport. The Rugby Sevens became an Olympic sport. That event made $20 million pure profit. And they say as a result of that event, that's why the Olympic Committee decided to turn it into an Olympic sport. Imagine what that expertise can do for your brand. You want more evidence? Dean Hunt, one of the world's top internet marketers. Google him, deanhunt.com. This is what he says about me. When it comes to social media strategies, Dave's the obvious go-to guy for this region. We're in a world where engagement and interaction is critical, and Dave is a master of this. And he's got a way of taking complex processes, because it's not always easy to understand, and procedures into action plans, and it means that you can get to the next level with me. Read the rest of it in your own time. You can stop the video, have a look through. There's plenty more testimonials where these guys came from, and this is purely on social media. When you start looking at all the other events I'm doing, then you've got even more testimonials coming through. There you were, the Rugby Sevens. Emirates Airlines sponsor it, and we have done for the 30 years or so it's been out there. It's getting bigger and bigger. And Gary Chapman's the big boss who knows how powerful my team are when we put it together. I've done numerous events with some of the biggest brands in the world, and that's why I know how much I can help you. So what's the next stage? Well, I've got my team ready, and we're waiting to work with you to share with you ideas, tips, tricks, and techniques to get you to the very top of your game using social media, internet marketing, e-commerce, and every single thing you need to give you that cutting edge over the competition to lead the field. I want to connect with you. Connect with me, and let's make this happen. You can call me on this mobile number. You can email me on this email contact. So, for mobile, we're talking +971 50 552 4316. That's my direct mobile number. +971 50 552 4316. If you want to email me direct, dave@thelifedesigners.com. That's dave@thelifedesigners.com. I will return your email. Or you can join me. Check out my blog for lots of insider information. Go to www.davecrane.tv www.davecrane.tv, and you'll get the insider information on exactly how to create your success. That will give you the proof that you need that we need to work together, and we need to do it fast. The longer you wait, the more you're leaving money on the table, and the faster the competition is catching up and passing you. How bad would it be if they left you behind? You need that edge. What's stopping you from being the very best in your game. You need to know the secrets of social media success, and I will share them all with you. Contact me now. I'll make you the very best that you can be.